Angelica Schock, Rosa Ish, and Herman Schub, air travel is still exotic.
She doesn't do escalators.
Even escalators remain outlandish. But for this trio, the journey has become more familiar. And long before they came to Canada, Canada came to them. Mining giant Inco bought rights to what they claim as their ancestral lands in 1965. Off and on, there have been protests ever since. In 2007, another Canadian company, Sky Resources, owned the mine and the conflict that came with it.
Around our ferronickel project, a number of people who were invading our land illegally were removed by the Guatemalan police forces.
That eviction was by and large peaceable. Yes, there were buildings burned. We disavow ourselves of any responsibility for that.
According to the lawyer representing the villagers, with the evictions came alleged crimes.
Rosa is here. She was one of the women who was gang raped by police and military and mining company personnel wearing company uniforms while they were evicting the villagers.
Hudbay bought Sky, took on its legal liabilities, and allegations around the mine mounted.
Adolfo Each was brutally murdered in front of a company property by a large group of mining security personnel who hacked him up with a machete and then shot him in the head. His wife, Angelica, is here. And Herman, during one of the protests, was just randomly walked up to by a mining company security person and shot in the chest. And he now has a bullet in his spine and he's paraplegic in a wheelchair.
Murray Klippenstein took on their case knowing it was an uphill fight. But in 2013, they won a precedent-setting decision from an Ontario Superior Court to allow their lawsuits to be heard in Canada.
Decisions made in Canada, management in Canada, ownership, funding, all in Canada. This is an important precedent because this is the first time when you in Canada can be held liable for what you allowed overseas.
The ruling has sent shockwaves through the glass and steel corridors of corporate Canada. Now, cases are being launched against two other mining companies for alleged abuses abroad. And apparel maker Joe Fresh for its alleged responsibility in the Rana Plaza garment factory collapse in Bangladesh.
We think wonderful to see the number of law firms now advising their Canadian mining companies to smarten up overseas. Don't sign up for corporate responsibility as a PR job and then just say everything's fine. You could be accountable, like legally accountable, the way all the rest of us are. It does change the rules of the game.
In Guatemala, the former head of the mine's security is currently on trial for the shooting of Herman and the killing of Angelica's husband. And here, Hudbay has denied the allegations, citing police reports, recanted testimony, and inconsistencies in the plaintiff's stories. It's now up to a Canadian court to decide the truth.
We're here at the CBC.
At Hudbay's annual general meeting this week, they didn't take kindly to cameras.
He's in charge. This is a private club.
Right.
And you've been asked to leave.
But Angelica, Rosa, and Herman were able to deliver a statement to shareholders inside and to protesters outside.
Seguiremos luchando para exigir justicia hasta lograrlo. Si se hace o no se hace, pero estaremos con la frente en alto diciendo la verdad sin temblar.
It's been a 5-year fight and counting. Klippenstein says the pressure to give up is enormous.
Other people in the community say, drop the lawsuit. You're just making life worse for all of us.
But they've managed to take their fight 5,000 kilometers north and show no signs of backing down.
They are very strong. They're very strong together. When they say, I actually want justice, not just for me, but for my community, for other people, it's a very powerful motivator.